Mom Guru. I'm Jax, and today we're going to take a look at the next question in our New Year, New Way series. Does anyone nag you? Well, if you're like me and you've been a parent, as soon as a child is conceived, you become an instant nag because it's over and over and over. It feels like that anyway. But there's a difference between modeling someone as a parent and being a nag. And a nag is someone who has had a substantial change in their life for whatever reason. They've either come to Jesus or quit smoking or lost weight or got a great job or anything where they feel some kind of elevation within themselves, that they've accomplished something great. Then all of a sudden they make it their personal mission to help you. Now that's not a problem whatsoever when someone wants to help you, but there comes a time when it seems that no matter what circumstance comes up or whatever is said, it gets tied back to what they're trying to help you with. And it's almost like the water treatment, the water torture, where they just keep over and over and over and over again their agenda on helping you. Now, there are generally two types of nags. The one that I just told you about, who's the reformer. And what happens is that, first of all, they may want to share with you their success right off the bat without even you asking. And that's like, whoa, no thanks, right off the bat. And then that usually ends up really badly. Or you actually are interested in what they've done and their success, and you ask them some questions, and it's almost like you open the floodgates to Hoover Dam. Wow, all this information comes out, and there's a special point that comes in between the zealot or reformer and the person who's actually doing the change, where they want it more than you do. And you decide that this is as far as you want to change, and you're happy with that amount of change, but they still keep hammering you with their agenda. And it's very, very irritating. The second kind of nag is usually the perfectionist in whatever way, shape, or form. And I went through that. If you look at my Steam post on hypocrisy is a fabulous thing, I went through slob rehab, and I didn't realize how much of a unkept housekeeper I was until I lived with my husband, who is a very neat person. And it's not that he is unrealistic to live with. It's not that way at all. It's just that he has the adage that, and lives by it, that if you touch something and use it, you put it away. Or if you have something that you dirty, you clean it right away. And I actually didn't think that was humanly possible. I didn't realize that there were people that lived like that. You know how you come over to people's houses, and it's usually generally understood that as soon as they know someone's coming over, they do a massive cleanup before, so everything looks like you live that way. But my hubby actually does live that way. So it took a little bit of time for me to adjust. And you can read about it all in my story of how I learned to adjust and became a reformed slob. Now that's actually where the trouble comes in. And once you're a reformer, you automatically feel that if I can do it, they can do it. And that's where the nag reflex can come out. Well, this last Christmas, my boys came down and my mom. And I didn't realize the family dynamics of how we didn't put away things right away when we used them, that this was a hereditary thing. My mom did it, I did it, my boys did it, and so my husband was completely overwhelmed with 4 of us now in the place. The only saving grace was that I had reformed myself, that I could now see how my boys and my mom lived. So I sat my 2 boys down, and I explained to them that even though there were some really great things that I did as a parent, teaching them how to be a slob was not one of them. So I pointed out to them how that you actually put things away and how much easier it is, and the whole story. Well, my older son went, "Yeah, thanks, Mom," and basically listened to the story but didn't apply it in his life. Well, my younger son took it to like a duck to water. It's very interesting because my youngest son is a bit of an older soul, and he really thinks differently than the rest of our family, much like I was when I was a kid. But my mom wasn't sure how to handle that kind of stuff. So instead of telling me to encourage me to be that newer, different person, she kept telling me that I had to be somebody else. Well, I took that to heart, and I realized that with my son, I encouraged him to be very different. But within our Slav mentality, he'd never really met anyone like my hubby before. So when my hubby actually showed him the idea of putting it away afterwards, this light went off on my son's head, and he was like, this is the answer. His coming to Jesus moment, or his aha, where he just realized that you could actually live a completely different life and like it. So now he's on this mission where he has to go. He went back home to his dad and his brother, who are not as zealous about keeping a house clean. And my son turned into a nag. Well, my husband shared with him the effective way of dealing with someone that is driving you crazy by some of the behavior that they're doing. Because my husband was a nag. There would be something that I would leave out, and he first tried it sarcastically, and then he tried it in a joking manner, and then he tried it just by saying it, and all three things resulted in my reacting to him in a very unpositive manner, and he didn't like it at all. Unpositive, maybe unpleasant would be better. Unpleasant manner. So he decided to take what I was talking to him about with the law of attraction and started visualizing in his mind how he would like me to be. He visualized he would like it that I would put things away and that I wanted a clean house. And he just sat there and visualized, and stopped nagging me about it. He actually stopped talking to me about it completely. And lo and behold, I started to clean up, and I had my aha moment where I realized that I really needed to change what I was trying to do. And it was really funny because my husband actually said in my post, I quoted him, and he said, I used to be a real dick when I was around my wife, and I was just so frustrated with dealing with her behavior, and through being with his dick approach, if you want to call it that way, he said that I was just causing more trouble. He said, and so instead, that's what he did. He decided to take a different approach and focus on what he wanted, and now our life is harmonious. I'm probably not as neat as he is, but my neatness level has increased to such a way that he feels comfortable now in his own home, and we have harmony. There's no more discord between us in regards to how the house is supposed to be or how it's supposed to do. He goes, I've gladly resigned my dick status. So for all you naggers out there, I know you mean well, and I know you want what's best for the person, or what you want is what's best for you, whichever one works out, but your strategy is driving that person either deeper into the behavior or further away from you. So maybe take my hubby's approach and his advice and resign from your own status, whichever female or male it would be, and start focusing on what you do want for that person and how you do want your life to be, and take a step back and allow the person to learn within themselves and show up, and you might be surprised. I was a diehard slob and I changed. If I can, anyone can. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you want to find out new and exciting ways to connect with the Common Guru, you can check down in our description box. Otherwise, have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Bye.